Welcome to T's Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyrus, and man, I'm just so excited, folks. This is big for me because these are two heavy hitters. If you follow this channel, you know that He-Man is my guy. I love He-Man. He's near and dear to my heart. I love the Masters Universe as a whole. It was my very first, collection as a kid. He-Man is right up there. It's my all-time favorite hero. Next, him and Batman hand in hand. But outside all that, within the whole Masters of the Universe world, Stratos as well as Roboto are two of my most favorite. Stratos, I always felt as a kid, I always felt as a kid that no one really liked Stratos but me. I was just such a huge fan of the character. I thought he was just so awesome that he could fly, and I love the colors and everything that he had to him. And I always look forward to seeing Stratos, on those Filmations 80s episodes. And I loved him in the 2000 X series. And then, just to see him now realized in this new Eternia Masterverse line, finally, it's just such a big deal for me. And then you go over to Roboto, and it's the same as well. A huge Roboto fan. Love this character. I remember back in the day as a kid, just seeing the commercials with Roboto and just being blown away and going like, I want that guy. I love it. I love the fact that his mouth would go up and down and all this gears would move inside his chest. I was just in another world, man. It was just so big for me as a kid. And just having these two figures now just takes me back to, the wonderful times that I had back in the day as a kid, and it reminds you of the love that you have for these characters. Was not a big fan of the Revelation series, but man, we've been getting a lot of awesome figures, whether it be from the Revelation series or the new Eternia line. As a whole, this Masterverse line has just been incredible. I mean, we continue to get great figures. I have that Too Bad figure coming. I cannot wait for that one, folks. There is a Man-at-Arms from that Masterverse Revelation series that looks absolutely off the chain, folks. I cannot wait for him. He looks awesome, folks. It's the bearded Man-at-Arms that was ousted by King Randor, and he had the grizzled beard, and he has all the tech and everything. I can't wait for that one, folks. But I'm excited about these two, folks. This is a big deal for me. As you can see, our figures through our display package windowing, we have the Stratos from the new Eternia line. We have Roboto from the Masters of the Universe Revelation series. And then here on the side, we are treated to some wonderful artwork yet again, man. This is just such a big deal as well. It's an added bonus for me because along with getting these incredible figures, we're treated to this wonderful artwork yet again, man. It's just so beautiful. I love it. And to see your favorite characters realized with this artwork, man, it's just so awesome to see. And then on the back, you get even more artwork here that just looks so cool, man. It's just so awesome. And it really harkens back to, back in the day, the artwork that we got from the Masters Universe line. And they just keep it going, man. This is like a love letter to us all the fans of the Masters of the Universe, mythology or the line as a whole, and what it means to all of us. So I love this. This is huge for me, man. And you see Stratos here on the back with his people from Evil-Lyn. We have Stratos, Wing Warrior. We have his bio here. And also we have the other figures that are released from this line. We got two of them right here. Then there's the Evil-Lyn and Frosta. But yeah, this is cool. I'm going to let you put this to the camera. So if you want to see the bio, if you want to pause that. All right, so we have Stratos. And then we also have Mr. Roboto, Heroic Mechanical Warrior. And then we have his bio here. And then on the back, we see Roboto taking down these Shadow Demon characters. This is what went down in that Masterverse Revelation series. But again, man, this is just so cool to see this artwork. I always look forward to seeing how and what they're going to do with any character that I get, man. Because you're going to be treated to just some incredible artwork. And yet again, we get it. So I love this, folks. All right, I'm going to stop babbling. And we're going to get these two out of the package and check them out. All right, let's get to it. All right, we're going to start off with my main man, Stratos. Dude, I cannot believe I got Stratos in this day and age. Everything just truly comes around full circle. And he looks like that classic Stratos yet and still there's some newness to him as well that we'll definitely get into that I can really appreciate. But let's take a look at what he comes with. So first and foremost, Stratos is packaged with the Emerald Staff of Avalon. So this is a really big item within the whole Stratos mythology. They did an excellent job with the Emerald item here at the end. It's kind of like a translucent item, and I like that. I love that translucent look to it. That looks really good. I love the gold finish that's applied throughout the rest of the staff. The detail looks awesome. I love that. And this is definitely something I'm going to be putting into Stratos because, again, this is a huge item for him and his people. So, but yeah, this is the Emerald Staff of Avalon. So this is cool. All right, and up next we have Stratos's vintage jetpack. Now, you know Stratos is never whole without his jetpack. This looks awesome. I love the more metallic paint deco that's applied to this jetpack. The design looks awesome as well. And overall, I'm just very impressed with how they're going with the whole metallic route with this jetpack here. So this looks awesome here. It's definitely going to be putting this to the Stratos. Actually, let's do it now. Let's put this to him. So I guess you see this little peg here will tag in like this. So there we go. So we got Stratos's more metallic backpack attached to him. So this looks awesome. Would have been cool if we would have been given maybe some blast effects here to tag at the end. That would have been awesome. But hey, man, I will take this here. So we have Stratos's jetpack. All right, and up next is yet another cool accessory for Stratos. And it's a part of that whole newness that I mentioned earlier. And that's this little air mask that he wear when he's going to take flight. Now, this really harkens back to the real life, air pilots, where they would wear these little air masks when they're inside their jets or planes. So this really harkens back to that. I like that idea for Stratos. This is really cool because he's a flight guy. He's always taken to the skies, and hey, he could use this air mask as well. So this is an awesome addition. Really nice detail, nice paint that's applied to here. This peg will peg into here, and there you go. So you have that, and then you can just slide this onto his head. Hopefully this will go smooth, and then he has this air mask on, and that's how this works. So this is awesome, man. Again, a lot of the newness that's applied to this Stratos here, a lot of new elements that I can really appreciate for Stratos. So we have that. And lastly, we have two swappable hands. So this is something that we can apply to the character to give him more of that flight pose when he's, blazing through the sky or whatever. So this is really cool. So actually, let's do that right now. Let's swap out these hands. So we're going to give him this little swappable hand here, and we're going to swap out his hand right here as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right, so we got his hand swapped out. I'm going to tag his little backpack back on, or not his backpack, his jetpack back on here. There we go. So we got his hand swapped out here, which is cool. And I think these hands really play to when he's in flight mode. So I really like that. So yeah, man, we got Stratos. We've gone through his accessories. And yeah, let's take a closer look at Mr. Stratos. So let's take his little air mask off here. And yeah, man, dude, this guy looks awesome. I love it. I love it. I love what they did with him. I like the newer elements that they applied to him to really, play up to the fact that he is a guy that takes to the skies. I love this area here. I love the little loincloth thing that they have here. Really harkens back to the old Masters of the Universe line. That's awesome. The colors. I always love Stratos for his colors. I always thought his colors were so cool. He has the red and blue, and then he always has the, of course, the gray skin or the gray fur skin. He was a weird looking guy. I don't know what to make of this guy. Because he's a wing guy, wing warrior, race of warriors. But, Stratos was always a weird looking dude, if you think about it. Well, all the Master Universe characters were weird looking, but really odd looking character. But he looked cool to me. I love it, man. Again, I just love the colors. In terms of articulation, Stratos is going to have pretty much the same as all the Masterverse. He does have this bicep swivel, which is awesome. Arms go all the way out like this. You definitely want to have some good articulation with Stratos. especially when you put him in these flight poses. And he has that upper thigh rotation. That's awesome. He does have the little boot swivel. That's cool. Nice articulation here in the foot area. Can go all the way out like this with his legs. So again, his articulation is really good. Nice waist swivel here. He has that upper torso. Yeah, some rocking here. There's some upper torso articulation as well. He does have this battle harness that you can remove if you like. I ain't removing it because I want him to stay with the battle harness. And he has these wings now. These wings, folks, it's another awesome addition. So you see the wings here, right? But they articulate a bit. So that's awesome. So you have articulated wings that's attached to Stratos as well. So that's yet another awesome addition to this character, man. So, and overall, man, I think this is just like the end-all, be-all Stratos figure for me. I mean, this guy just looks awesome. I look forward to getting this guy, man. And, oh, this looks awesome, man. Let's try to get him into some flight poses. So you see the hand. Oh, hand fell off. Come on, Stratos. Tap this in a little tighter. But yeah, man, this looks cool. Really cool, man. And this, like, yeah, the hands definitely play to the flight poses. So yeah, you'll be able to put this guy in some really awesome poses, especially if you put, the open hands to him. This looks awesome. Get him on a flight stand. Woo! He looks cool, man. He looks awesome. And again, I think that's a nice touch, adding articulated wings to the arms, because these do move kind of like up a little bit. So that's awesome. And then the jetpack, I really wish they would have added some blast effects to the jetpack. That would have been cool. And then again, if you want to add the little gas mask to him, or the air mask, I'm sorry, I'll say gas mask, but the air mask, you can. I'm kind of half and half. I'll do it sometime, but it's still an awesome idea, for Stratos. That's cool. Gives them a different look. So overall, this Stratos is fantastic, folks. I'm excited. For a fan who loves Stratos, this is a big deal for me. I love it, folks. All right, let's get on to the next. One thing that I like to add in regards to this Stratos figure is, again, I like this figure. He looks awesome. I like the bulkiness that they captured with this Stratos figure overall. But the head articulation, I didn't cover that part with this figure here. He can go all the way around with no problem, but he can't look up that well. So the articulation with the head looking up and down is super limited due to the sculpted detail of the little feather thing that he has around his neck, and just how his body is sculpted overall. I feel like that limits his the articulation in his neck. So I just wanted to show that. And here we have yet another awesome comparison with our new Eternia Stratos next to our Masters of the Universe Origin Stratos. So it's just really so cool to see where we were and where we are right now with these figures. All right, let's get on to the next. And here alongside our new Eternia Stratos is the Super 7 Ultimate Stratos, which is based off the Filmation's 80s cartoon. So this one here is yet another favorite from within my collection. And here alongside our new Eternia Stratos, I have the Masters of the Universe Origins Mer-Man. Now, I have these two together because these two always seem to team up with He-Man in the animated series from the Filmation side of things. So that's why I have Mer-Man in this comparison. And I'm really hoping that we get a new Eternia Mer-Man. Can you imagine how cool that would look? So hopefully we'll get that at some point. I'm pretty sure we will. Maybe this year. Who knows? But we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, up next we have Roboto. Yet another heavy hitter from me. And he comes with a number of cool accessories. All right, first and foremost, Roboto is packaged with these two translucent power swords that are separated. So now this plays to what went down in that Masterverse Revelation series when the power sword was separated into these two power swords and all of the magic in Eternia was destroyed. It was no more. So what had to happen is Roboto had to mend both power swords back together as one in order to restore all the power back in Eternia, and also for He-Man to come back as well. So all that had to happen. and Roboto made it happen. So this is what that is. And I love both swords. They look different. So I like the designs and the details for both. And to utilize that whole translucent angle for these swords is a really nice touch. So I like this overall. So this is really cool. And then up next, we have these two blaster accessories. Now, I like both. This is more kind of like a open end cannon. It's kind of like that old air sonic cannon that Roboto utilizes, kind of like Cyborg from the DC universe. And then here is more of like a ray blaster cannon that you can apply to Roboto. Now, the weird thing about these blasters is that you can only apply one of these to this arm here, which is really ridiculous. I don't know why they did that. That didn't make no sense. But so you would twist off this entire forearm, you take it off, and then you can apply one of the blasters, which is really ridiculous. I don't know why they went that route. That does not make any sense. Roboto, he utilizes both hands for a blaster. So that would have really been cool, but you can only utilize this one arm for a blast attachment. So that's just kind of a head scratcher for that. But those are the accessories for Roboto. And as far as the character or the figure as a whole, he looks awesome. I think that they still stayed in line with how Roboto looks, with the classic Roboto, yet and still you get something new, much like Stratos. The colors really harken back to the classic Roboto, yet we get like a new design in a way for him. I love the darker hue of blue that they utilize for the arms. I love the silver, how that's utilized here in the chest area. This more like a dark purple and everything, or a violet red that they're utilizing here in this area. More of a lighter red, the silver. The detail here in his high knee robotic boots that he has is really cool. That's awesome. I love how they handled the back here. Now, the one thing that I really wish that they would have added to this figure is the little action feature that the original one had. So you move the waist for the original Roboto, the mechanical functions will move around. Even with the Origins Roboto, he had that function as well. So I don't know why they didn't add it to this one. That would have been a huge nod and a huge addition to this figure if you would have moved the waist, the functions move around, as well as the jaw. Now, the jaw articulates, which is awesome, but that should have been working in unison as you were moving the waist. So I thought that would have been an awesome feature if they would have added that to this Roboto, but it's not. But I still like this figure, but I feel like it could have been way better if they would have added those features. And then again, to add another, detachable arm for the blast effect. I don't know why they didn't do that. But in terms of articulation for the figure, he articulates pretty well. I mean, his arms go up like this, can go around with no problem. He can go around no problem, a little tight here. He does have the bicep swivel as well. He has pinless double jointed elbows, can go in, extend in like this and go out. He has nice rotation and articulation in the wrist area, so that's no problem. Head articulates really well with no problem. He can look up a bit and he can look down, so no problem articulating his head. He does have that waist articulation like I showed before, but no upper torso. I get that, he's a robot. He's going to be more of a stoic, type of a figure. So I don't expect for him to be the most articulated, but I feel like you should get just enough from him to be able to put him into some pretty cool poses as he's blasting people away. And as you can see here, he has some really good articulation in the leg area. He also has that little upper thigh rotation. He does have, does he have boot swivel? And no, he doesn't have that boot swivel. Due to how this is sculpted, he does not have boot swivel, but he does have the pinless double jointed knees, which go all the way back, which is really cool. But yeah, no boot swivel. He does have some nice articulation in the ankle and foot area, so that's cool. But yeah, a bit of a mixed bag for this Roboto figure. I still like him, but I felt like he really could have been a little better. The functions, the feature, the action feature, that should have been there. The swappable, mechanical arm should have been the case here for this areas, but overall, aesthetically, he looks great. To have him in my collection is a big deal, because I love Roboto. And again, see, you'll still be able to put this guy into some pretty cool poses as he's blasting people away. It just would have been cool if you would have been given yet another arm to utilize that blast effect or that blaster that he has, but you can only utilize one, which is really weird. But overall, really loving this figure here. Yes, it could have been better, but I'll take it because this is my main man, Roboto, and I appreciate, what they did do with him in terms of, keeping in line with how he looked from back in the day, yet and still giving him, a bit of an updated design. I like the fact that you are able to still see his mechanical functions through his chest area with this little plastic see-through overlay. I like that. I like that they kept that. And I like on the back, if you turn around to the back, you can see through the back here as well with the little plastic see-through overlays. But even though we didn't get some things with this figure, I do appreciate a lot of what we did get. And overall, yet another win for me in obtaining this Roboto figure. We're going to get on to the next. Let's go. And here for comparison, alongside our new Masterverse Revelation Roboto, I have the good old Masters of the Universe Origins Roboto figure. And as I mentioned in the review, he has this cool feature with the functions of the articulated jaw moving in unison with the little mechanical function. So I wish this thing would have had that. That would have been cool. But I do see how they were trying to match what we did get in the Origins line, where you can only place a swappable, blaster or accessory for this hand, an arm area here, and in this arm area here, would have just a regular hand. So I think they were trying to just stay in line with what we got in this Origins, Roboto, which I still really feel that they should have given us, a swappable, hand for this here, so we can utilize that other blast effect. But all in all, man, really happy that I have a Roboto from the Masterverse side of things, as well as the Origin side of things. And here, along with our Roboto and Stratos figures, I have the Masters of the Universe 40th Anniversary He-Man and Skeletor. And here we have a few more friends for both Roboto and Stratos in the form of the Masterverse Revelation Man-at-Arms, as well as Tila. And here alongside our new Eternia Stratos, as well as our Masters of the Universe Revelation Roboto, I have the new Eternia Zodak figure, as well as the new Eternia Sunman and Jitsu. And here alongside our Roboto and Stratos is the Masterverse Revelation King Grayskull. All right, folks, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Man, 2 more awesome Masterverse figures to add to my collection. I'm telling you, man, this Masterverse line is just so awesome. To see all our beloved characters realized through this line is just so cool. I'm very impressed with the Stratos figure. I love his bulkiness and all of his accessories. The Roboto figure, he's still really cool, but he's just lacking in some areas with the additional accessory to the other arm that they didn't allow for us to have. The action feature with the moving joints and the articulated jaw. That's something that they most definitely should have added to the Roboto. But overall, man, really happy to still have this guy. I love the colors. I love the accessories that he do come with. I just really wish they would have added that additional accessory. But overall, really happy to have Roboto. He looks awesome still. And again, folks, really excited for this Masterverse line as a whole. Stay tuned for my 2 bad review. I do have that figure coming. But again, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe, folks. Also, ring that bell for all notifications. And until next time, be good to one another. Be safe. Stay tuned. And remember. All right, folks. Until next time. Bye for now.